Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa alihi washabihi ajmain. Alhamdulillah, Allah gather us again tonight for the series of the mothers of the believers, the Ummahatul Mu'minin. And I have to blame it to Brother Adil that mentions only one mother. So today we're gonna do two mothers, inshallah. One of there's a two actually. There's probably 4 or 5 Zainabs in the life of Rasulullah SAW. The Zainab Bint Muhammad, which is his daughter, and then 2 of his wives also by the name of Zainab. Zainab Bint Kozaimah, which we're going to talk about tonight, and also another Zainab, it is Zainab Bint Jahl, which is the cousin of Rasulullah SAW. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I need to check my note on that, I think the daughter of Ali with Fatima is also by the name of Zainab, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so there's a Zainab. So today we talk about Zainab Kozaimah. There are not many stories about this mother, and we will know why soon, inshallah. And then one of the, I remember there was a hadith where Aisha radhiallahu was asked. I think Urwa asked Urwa, the nephew of Aisha radhiallahu anha, who do you think is the beloved to Rasulullah sallallahu? And then Aisha mentioned, probably after me. Of course, it's quite known that everyone knows that Rasulullah mentioned that Rasulullah announced publicly his love towards our mother Aisha radhiallahu anha, and then she said, probably after me is gonna be Salamah and Zainab, which is Zainab Bint Jahl. So there's a lot of blessing from Salamah that we're going to learn, inshallah, today. I actually make dua when I walk here. I make dua that Allah give me at least a small, I can do justice to this mother, Salamah, the sufferings and the pain and the sacrifice that she went through, and then how she became one of the Ummahatul Mu'minin. It was quite amazing stories. And I think probably last month or not 2 months ago, I was talking to Brother Adil about one of the blessings of Salamah during the Battle of Hudaybiyah. Inshallah, we're going to talk about that tonight, inshallah. All right, so let's first of all, just to remind everyone what is actually mothers of a believer. The mothers of believer itself, the word itself is coming from Quran, Surah Al-Ahzab, and Allah actually mentions that the Prophet has a strong bond, a strong affinity, and Nabiyyu awla bil mu'minin min anfusim, more than the mu'minin themselves. Wa aswajuhu, and the wives, ummahatuhum, they are your mothers. So they are like the mothers to the mu'min. So there's the next level of Muslim is a mu'min. So Allah mentioned that as a mu'min, your mother is the wives of Rasulullah SAW. This verse was revealed in Medina, I think the 5th year of Medina. The word awla, an-nabiyyu awla, the word awla is protector. So our Rasulullah SAW has actually strong affinity, strong bond to someone who cares and protects the believers, which is the Sahaba at the time, of course, including us, the follower of Rasulullah SAW. He has more right and more concerns about protecting the believers. And then is even compared to we concern ourselves with deen, is actually less compared to our Rasulullah concerns with our deen. That is Allah, to put it, how the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even in many verses in Quran, I think second 2 or 3, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even reminding why you would kill yourself just because they don't believe in you, right? So that is the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is actually the mother? As you know, this is Quran. This is the surah, which surah? Al-Fatiha. And Al-Fatiha, Quran. And then the Lauh Mahfuz is Kitab. So the word here is not necessarily, of course, not necessarily biological mother. It is some things like the mother of education, mother of tarbiyah, as a hub, the love hub, as well as the protection. So Allah gave these mothers special status. What are the special status? Definitely, they are part of the household of the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Is a household. It was mentioned in many narrations that the households of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam come from Banu Hasim. So Abdullah bin Allah, Muhammad Rasulullah SAW bin Abdullah bin Abdul Muttalib bin Hasim. So the whole the Bani Hasim is considered to be the Ahlul Bayt. So that's including Abbas, his uncle, and including, in fact, if Abu Lahab also Muslim at the time, we included him so as well. Abu Lahab has two sons. So one of them is actually Muslim, so it's also actually included part of the Ahlul Bayt. And definitely all his wives is by the text of the Quran itself, the wives of Rasulullah SAW, they're all Ahlul Bayt. So they're not like any other women. First of all, they are become haram for marriage after the demise of Rasulullah SAW. They deserve your love and respect. Now the thing is, how can we love them and respect them if we don't know them? Right, so inshallah, through MCSK, we start to learn about some of our mothers, inshallah. Not only that, see, they all become the teachers and role models, not only for the women, they also for the men as well. They are not like any other woman. Allah mentions in the verse 32, Ya Nisa'un Nabi, Laisa, Ya Nisa Nabi, lastunna ka ahadi minan nisa. You, all wives of the Prophet, you are not like anyone else. You are different. If you make deed, if you do deed, you have a double deed, and if you have sins, you have a different. They will have different reward, and also different in terms of punishment as well. So one of the rules about Ahlul Bayt is the sadaqah is not pure for them, so they cannot receive sadaqah. So one story is of Fadl bin Abbas, which is the cousin of Rasulullah SAW, came to Rasulullah. They were very poor and asked for some money, and then Rasulullah says, "Oh no, we the Ahlul Bayt cannot take the sadaqah." So this is a story about that. And then there are the wives in this world and after. When we talk about the story of Hafsa radiallahu anha, when Rasulullah divorced her and Jibril came down, Jibril will not come down unless this is an important matter. Jibril came down and take your wife back, because she will be your wife here and will be your wife in Jannah as well. So they are high status, they are blessed and noble. They were actually offered, there's another narration, all of them were offered, will you continue to become the wives of Rasulullah, or you can leave the for this dunya. And they're all just without second thought, we just like a beat, like very high in the heartbeat, that just says they want to be will continue to become they choose Allah and His Messenger, so Allah will bless them. So inshallah they will be the role model. So they probably I know someone tried to link them, whether which one they're like Ashara Mubasara. What's the difference between them and Ashara Mubasara? The Ashara Mubasara, the 10 of promised Jannah, of course they're playing different role, right? They're playing different role. They support, especially our mother Khadijah radiallahu. That's like the support of Rasulullah SAW, and they're playing an important role, not only giving the support to Rasulullah SAW, but also at the same time there's certain things that not many people will learn, not be able to accept. This is like someone like have a close relationship with someone in your household. That's why and then today we're going to talk about Salamah. Salamah is the second in terms of number of hadith that she narrated, is the second, just right after Aisha. So this is Salamah. She narrated a lot of hadith, I think about 378 in the book of hadith. All right, so this is I'll make it slightly bigger. So the first wife is Khadijah, 25 years of marriage. You mentioned about this, right? So it is only during that time Rasulullah was only married to only one lady. And then the second wife will be Sauda married for about 13 years. And then Aisha, we talk about Aisha just a few months after that is Hafsa. And then from Hafsa, Rasulullah about 20 days, about 3 weeks, Rasulullah SAW married to Zainab, which we're going to talk about today. Zainab, there are two Zainab, Zainab Bint Jahl and Zainab Bint Kuzaymah. Unfortunately, Zainab was the marriage to Rasulullah SAW was very short-lived. It's only for about 7 months. But then after that, Rasul also married Salamah, and Salamah, Salamah, probably the second longest after like 8 years with Rasulullah SAW, and then she also outlived Rasulullah SAW, and then she's actually the last mother to pass away. So it's a 64 Hijrah, so 64 years after the marriage of Rasulullah SAW. So today we're going to talk about Zainab, which is wife number 5, married only for 7 months. There's only, if you look at Shaykh Sirqadi mentions about only two wives that who passed away before Rasulullah SAW. It's actually number 3. There's Rayhana Bint Zaid, which is another Jewish lady from the Banu Nadir. And we also talk about the wife number 6, which is Salamah. This is the second longest marriage and about 8 years. Right. So before that, just do quickly because there are not many stories about our mother Zainab Bint Kozaimah. She was known by Masakin, the mother of the poor. She likes to give food to the poor, and then she has, because not many stories, but I tried to find something that is quite interesting. But she has a very interesting mother. Now I want to tell you this. This mother, which is Hindun binti Auf, had a number of daughters. The first daughter was Zainab, and she was married to Rasulullah SAW. The second daughter, from a different husband, by the name of Maimunah, and Maimunah also the wife of Rasulullah SAW, not the same time. So you cannot, because they're half sisters. You cannot marry the same the two ladies. Well, they are sisters, but you can do after one pass away. Just for example, Rasulullah Uthman bin Affan, for example, after married to Ruqayyah, then Kulthum, right? So you can do that as well. So this is the third one, which is Fadl. Fadl become the wife of uncle of Rasulullah SAW. So is Fadl. If you know the stories of Abdullah bin Abbas, it is the daughter of Fadl. And the fourth daughter, which is Lubaba bin Hadith, from the same father, she was the wife of Walid bin Mughirah, Khalid bin Walid bin Mughirah. So that's a relationship to Khalid bin Walid. And the last one, is quite unique. The last one is Asma binti Umais. She was married to Ja'far bin Abi Talib, right? And then after they came back from Abyssinia, and Ja'far passed away in the Battle of Mu'tah, and then just after she finished her iddah, Abu Bakr proposed her for marriage, right? And then they were married for about 2-3 years, and they had a son by the name of Muhammad bin Abu Bakr. Then Abu Bakr passed away after he became Khalifa, and after that Ali bin Abi Talib. Why is it so unique, so bizarre? Because Ja'far and Ali, they are brothers. So Asma was the wife of Ja'far. Now after the widow of Ja'far, after the widow of Abu Bakr, and Ali proposed. Now I just want to probably share a little bit about the culture at that time. The culture at the time, probably we at the current, what year is it, 2021? Probably we value beauty, wealth, right? At that time, that they're sort of more into lineage. So if someone like from a famous lineage, from a famous uncle or whatever, the grandfather and so on, so people like really into that. And the story of Salamah, for example, when Abu Salamah passed away, the long list of Sahaba, even Abu Bakr, Umar bin Khattab, they all tried to propose marriage as well, including Asma binti Umais. And when Ja'far passed away, and everyone just to finish iddah, there are a lot of people actually try to propose marriage to. So at that time, the lineage is something that people consider. I think Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned women are married for 4. One is the lineage, one is the wealth, one is the beauty, and the deen. And the best of it is the deen. All right. So now I want to tell you another story. Remember the story about I think. Well, we talk a lot of stories about Hadith. Abdullah bin Abbas. Abdullah bin Abbas is actually the cousin of Rasulullah SAW. Her mother is Fadl, right? So there was a hadith that narrated by by Abdullah bin Abbas when he said, "I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam walk up, and I prepare the water for him to do wudu to do tahajjud." Amazing hadith, right? I saw, and then he was probably like 7, 8, very young age, and he said, "I saw Rasulullah walk up, and I prepare the wudu for tahajjud." What time Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did tahajjud? And this 8-year-old, 9-year-old actually waiting for Rasulullah SAW to wake up so he can prepare wudu. This is amazing. And then, and at that time, because Maimuna is actually his aunt, so when Rasulullah SAW spent the night with Maimuna, and he will come, just Rasulullah lie down like this. I don't know whether he can lie down. And then Abdullah bin Abbas just lie at the feet at the Rasulullah SAW and Maimuna says that's why he can observe that. See how people so fall in love with Rasulullah SAW. Even like 8-year-old, 9-year-old, I want to at the service of Rasulullah SAW. What I can do, only night time, then I can do night, right? So I saw Rasulullah walk up, right? So he's probably just waiting for Rasulullah to wake up and then clenching the eyes. Amazing, amazing. What you can do if you look back, right? What did you do at the age of 8 years old, right? Even if you 8 years right now, if you wanna go to the airport, like you have a 5 o'clock flight, right? You will not be able to wake them up. You have to carry them with the PJ, right? The whole way carry them with PJ. This is just amazing. And again, this is another story tale. This is really happening, right? So that's the story of the Abdullah bin Abbas, and Rasulullah SAW made dua that Abdullah bin Abbas be blessed by Allah with his understanding of the Quran because of his service. What do you call that service? Hidmat, right? Is it hidmat? No, it's not. It's not an Urdu word. No, okay.
Oh, khidmat.
Khidmat, right?
Khidmat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
It's actually Arabic.
Oh, yeah.
It's from Arabic. All right. All right. So another marriage, because not many stories about her. There was I think there's a few narrations about whether she's married once or twice, whether we married to this man. So one of the strong stories that she was married to, I think, the second cousins of Rasulullah SAW, but the name of Tufail bin Harith, and they had 10 children. MashaAllah. They come for the class. All right. They had she had 10 children, and then after the husband passed away, then she got married to Rasulullah SAW. Just right after Rasulullah married with Hafsa, just about 21 days. And again, this is something that the culture at the time that probably we nowadays might not be able to swallow it, right? Just getting married. What was the question today? Can I get married with?
Oh, yeah. And they're married to two women at the same time.
Yeah, but the Rasulullah with the 21 days apart. All right, between Hafsa radiallahu anha and Zainab Bint Kozaimah. What is the marriage is here? The marriage is Rasulullah proposed to her after her husband passed away. It is very strong messages actually that the companions of Rasulullah SAW, when they go to battle, they rest assured that if they become a Sahid, that their family is going to look after. So Rasulullah actually set like a trend, like a precedence, that everyone after that, when they go to battle and they have to go to Sahid, so they know that the family gonna be looked after. Right. So unfortunately, the marriage to Rasulullah SAW short-lived. She passed away after 7 months, and that it was, and again she get the blessing of the first lady to be offered a janazah, right? The janazah, the funeral, right? Of course, Khadijah radiallahu was also, but at the time the ruling of janazah was not there. So this was the first janazah we done by Rasulullah SAW, and then it was the first mother to be buried in Jannatul Baqi. So that all the stories about Zainab Bint Kuzaymah, which is not many of them, because short-lived, and she also came not a very well-known tribe of Quraysh. So let's move on to the next one. So we already talked about the mothers of believers. Now we go back to our the Bint, which is the main topic, which is Salamah. So not the other way around. All right, I'm teasing brother. All right. So where was I? Salamah, yes. Salamah went back to like 7 to 6 generation. So again, they came from the same nasab, or the generation, the lineage is something they're really proud of. So they can easily take I'm the son of A the son of B the son is up to, even some of them up to Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. They can recite that. So Salamah, her real name is actually Hindun. I don't know whether you know the word Hindun. Hindun is actually come from the word India, right? So at that time, the word India, at that time, of course, there's no India, there's no Pakistan at that time. It just whatever the continent was there, which is Hindun, is something that associated to be pretty, to be beautiful. So if someone by the name, and then Hindun is what they call unisex. That means you can name for man as well for woman. So Hindun. So one of the name of Hindun is the wife of Abu Sufyan, for example, is also named Hindun, and also Khadijah radiallahu anha has also a son by the name of Hindun as well. So Hindun means India, is something that associated to pretty. Not only that, they also have they exported sword as well. So the sword from India, I don't know, but at the time there's no country called India, but around that region. Right. Why are you smiling? It's nothing to do with these two countries, so nothing to do with that. It's just the region of that. She's from the clan of Banu Makhzum. Anyone knows the famous characters in Banu Makhzum? Right, Abu Jahl. So Abu Jahl is from the Banu Makhzum. His name Abu Jahl is actually his name. What is his name? Hakim bin Hisam. Right, and he's actually the brother of Mughirah, and also Khalid bin Walid. So Khalid bin Walid is also from the clan of Banu Makhzum. Why I'm telling the tribe story? Because for them the tribes and the lineage is everything. They don't have countries. They have at that time is a tribal group, tribal entities. So between tribes, and there's fighting among tribes and so on. If one tribe can overpower another tribe, they would take everything, the wealth, and the ladies of that tribe, they become slaves and so on, and that's what they do, right? At the time there's no country they look after. And at the time, if you go further to the west, there's the Byzantine Empire. If you go to the east, there are the Persian Empire, the Sassanid Empire, right? But at the time, the massive land of the Middle East, or the Jazeera at the time, they don't have countries yet, they don't have government, they still have living in the tribes and a society where the tribe. So tribe for them is important. So they can recite someone from that tribe, even the horse. Yes. there's no yell like that, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Deal. Yeah, this or deal Bani Makhzum. They will say deal Bani Makhzum.
Deal, exactly.
Yeah. So when they become one tribe, they also have competitions among them. For example, they look after Makkah, right? They look after Kaaba. So people at the time it's a paganistic Hajj. When people come do Hajj, even they're doing naked, doing the tawaf and so on. And when people come, the Hajj season, they will actually take it. Okay, who will stay at my place, and I'll give you money, I'll give you food and stuff like that. They show this proud, right? And Banu Makhzum doing that, I want to do that. So Banu Hashim call that, let's serve all the. So they have competitions along that. So there's always the tribal, and again, it is so it's so human actually, having that competitions. Like that's why there's always good to have competition, a healthy competitions. It is, inshallah. Halal, healthy and halal, halal and tayyib. Is it called here or is just me?
That's good. That's the first time I've heard him to say it's cold.
Yeah, I'm sweating inside because it's warm as well. No, it's good. Yeah, yes, keep it halal, brother. All right, Salamah. Her real name is Hindun or Hind, and again, Hindun is the unisex name, so it can be a brother, it can be a mother, it can be a man or woman. He is 25 younger than Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He's from, as mentioned, the tribe of Bani Makhzum. So not much story about the biography, biodata. 25 years after Rasulullah Sallallahu. She was born 25 years after Rasulullah Sallallahu.
So she's 25 years older.
No, she was born 25 years after Rasulullah Sallallahu was born.
After. Okay.
Then younger.
Younger.
Okay, and we get some math problem here. Yeah. Yeah, I should have said younger, right? Yeah. All right. I forgive you. That's all right. All right. Let's talk some of the stories. I like stories. Let's talk about the early Makkah time. She's already married to Abdullah bin Abdal, another Banu Asad. So, and both of them embrace Islam. They're actually the early converts, the early reverts, or whatever you want to call it, the early Muslims, just right after Ali bin Abi Talib. So they're the couple that is a new couple, and they also embrace Islam. Because of their embracing Islam again, embracing Islam at the time, you will face, most of them will face persecution, including this new couple, Salamah and Abu Salamah. So they have to did hijrah. So they did hijrah to Abyssinia because of the intense anger and persecutions and hatred and everything, and she had to leave all the nice lives and what she had to do everything, live and go to a different city. And again, I need to remind everyone how it is not like we traveling to China or traveling to Bangkok or traveling to UK is like convenient, and they have to go with, they don't know what the place looks like. Everyone will have a complete different language and different climate, different food and everything, and they go not because of they want to go, they go because of the persecution. It is something that they have to endure, and it's being tough. And compared to us being Muslim, we just born and then we're already Muslim, right? So Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah for that. And these mothers, right, and their family, they have to go, they suffer a lot. So they chose to be in this way, right? And even though all the persecutions, all the anger, all the humiliations that they have to go to, and the wealth, not to mention the wealth as well, all the wealth they have to go to leave that behind. So and there was at the time when I first heard about Salamah, I thought Salamah was the girl's name. It's actually Salamah is a boy's name. Salamah, right? So because I think it's a Tamar Buta, but anyway, I thought it was a girl's name. Then Salamah was born in Ethiopia, Abyssinia at the time. So it was considered to be like a good omen. Okay, we are in exile, we new family, and the first baby was born was Salamah at the time. And then, as everyone knows, I keep repeating this, and every time we started, there was people thought it was everything was honky dory. The Makkah is already a lot of people embrace Islam. Let's go back to Makkah, and then they found out it was not true. It was just rumor, because of the story of Surah An-Najm. I don't know whether they remember that. Everyone was make prostration, and they thought, and then the rumor came. This again is all rumor. Now the stories about her migration. The stories about her migration is quite amazing story, because. And again, there was a probably small contingent here that start leaving Makkah for Medina, another group of people, and then the clan of Salamah, when they heard that they are leaving, right? So they go outside of Makkah and they stop them, and they what they did is just, no, you cannot go, right? There's the three of them, Abu Salamah, and the Salamah, the three of them, you cannot go. She's from the Bani Makhzum. If you want to go, just go to Medina, go by yourself, right? So they let Abu Salamah go by, and as a father of a young 2 or 3 year old, Salamah at that time was probably 2 or 3 year old. As a father of a 2 or 3 year old, how can you just leave your wife behind and your son, and you just have to walk through, right? And again, how the pain that they have to go through. And then after that, they capture Salamah, and they dragged her back to Makkah. And then now this is the crazy part, right? And again, this is tribal, right? So the tribe of Abu Salamah, which is the Banu Sa'ad, when they heard this, they got upset. What? You did that? You know what they did? They came, they're all like a gangsters or something. They came to the Bani Makhzum. They said, you can do that, right? You cannot. You can take your lady there, right? But the son Salama, they are ours. Yeah, this guy is ours. So they take him. So they separate the mother and the 2-year-old boy from the mother, and they could do that, right? So that is, and their own son, their own family, they would do that. So basically, they kidnapped the baby. So this is what our mother Salamah had to go through, until someone probably came to the senses that probably what we're doing is not good. I don't think this is actually nice and everything. All right, they come down after a few weeks. Okay, let's return the baby back to the mother. They return it. Salma, when they get the baby, okay, the first thing they will do, all right, that's it. Let's go packing and get ready to see your father, right? So they got ready and packed, and then they don't have anyone. So they're just a mother and the boy. So what happened after that was they met a guy, which is at that time was not Muslim. His name is Uthman bin Talha, and he was just coming back from a trip. And he says, "What are you guys doing outside of Makkah?" And then they told the stories. We got separated. My husband is already in Medina. We're going to do hijrah to follow Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we just want to go. No. You cannot just two of you, right? And I don't know if you've been to Makkah. If you take I don't know, the train, probably like 2 hours now, right? When I was there, we drove someone drove. It's like 400 kilometers. It's like running like 100 kilometers, and just the guy just floor his foot, and I said, and then we just make all the dua. Every dua, we just, oh my goodness, it's just. And then the driver was from our Pakistani brother, and then just running, mashallah. And it was 4 hours. It was 4 hours, and then in the middle of nowhere he stopped, and then it was just a small restaurant. But now think about this. This is like a 1,478. I don't know. Please do the math. Yeah, at that time they had to walk for at least 10 or 12 days and walking. And this guy, Uthman bin Talha, what he did, he just grabbed the camel and then just walk. Solid 10, 12 days at least. And they walk. And of course they have to stop. They have to do a toilet break. They have to do a sleeping break and so on. And this is not his mahram or anything. We just probably put the camel here. I'll just probably sleep there. And they woke up again in the morning and just trek all the way. 10 days, 12 days. And went back to Medina. No money asked, no anything. This is a town. You go meet your husband. Sayonara. Bye. Of course, they did not say sayonara, but they come back. 10 days back, go in, and 10 days back, like 20 days. And this person's not even Muslim. And I remember, I remember when I was in London, and there was an Indonesian. I have this halakha with the Indonesian group, and I remember this guy was probably coming back from after 2 years or 3 years study, and one of the things he asked, we had the halakha. We have one ustad, and he says, "Yeah, ustad, what do you think of someone who's really, really, really nice, and is too kind to everyone, but they're not Muslim? Will there be a chance for them to go to Jannah?" Right? And I've been hearing this many questions. There's so many people with a kind heart, but they're not Muslim. And I remember about 5-6 years ago in serving Islam team, when we had an open house, and there was this very nice, beautiful young old lady, and she was asking Brother Wael at the time. I remember his answer. I remember her question and his answer. She asked, my mother was known in the society, was very caring and loving. Everyone know my mother, right? She's a full devoted Christians and whatnot. And then when she passed away, a lot of people from all across the world and across the country come to visit her. Something of that nature, right? And I say, are you telling me that my mother will go to hellfire? I remember what Brother Wild mentioned. I know and I hope Allah will judge your mother with His mercy, not with His justice. And I keep remembering that. And again, this is one of probably more theological question, right? The few things you're going to see this. Number one, the right of the Creator, the right of Khalik, is much higher than the right of human being. Of course, you being nice to people, you being nice to person, Allah will reward you in this world, right? But Jannah, and if you never ask Allah forgiveness, if you never ask Allah Jannah, and you never put an effort to go to Jannah, how will you get the reward for Jannah? It is actually quite simple. It is because if you fight and struggle to do something, then you win it. I remember 2000. I probably have to Google it. I remember Roger Federer won Australian Open after like the whole journey. It was very tough finals and everything, and then he was being interviewed. He was crying tears, right? And when he got this trophy and a kiss you can imagine you get this trophy and then just pick up someone from the street. You give this trophy. It doesn't mean anything to them because they don't put the fight to get the trophy. When you put the fight to get the trophy, just looking at the trophy itself is just tears coming down, right? That's the reward, right? So if you never ask for Jannah, you never put an effort to go to Jannah, why would Allah give you Jannah, right? It's as simple as that. I think hopefully that probably answers something. I've been asked in Hong Kong as well. I've been asked. I have this very nice person, and then again, someone who has that sincere heart, right? They're probably very close. If you look at all the companions of Rasulullah SAW, for example, Abu Sufyan caused a lot of death in the Battle of Uhud, for example, right? But at the end, he became radiyallahu anhu. Khalid bin Walid, for example, right? He also have a lot of people died but he became radiyallahu anhu. So many people who they have animosity, is this the right word? Animosity to Rasulullah, but they're still within the boundary of human being. They still have a chance to be Muslims. Like Abu Sufyan is one of them, and even the son of Abu Jahl, Ikrimah bin Abu Jahl, he became Muslim at the end. And Uthman bin Talha, the guy that we're going to talk about here, he finally became Muslim. He's probably the last batch to become Muslim, and he was actually become Muslim at the same time of Ikrimah bin Abu Jahl. So it was the last, and again I just put a note here that in general, of course, not necessarily the case. People who have a good heart and inshallah, they're probably, the thing is we need to do da'wah as well, right? But Allah will guide them anyway. Yeah.
And the biggest example is Abu Talib.
Yeah, Abu Talib. Yeah, he has a sincere heart and everything, and then of course, subhanallah. Right. One of the stories about Uthman bin Talha, when the Muslims conquer Makkah, and everyone were just helter-skelters and find the refuge and stuff like that, and they have Rasulullah want to go to Kaaba, and then the Kaaba was locked. So find the key. The key is actually with Uthman bin Talha, and actually Abbas, the uncle of Rasulullah, even Ali bin Abi Talib, let's get the key. This key belong to Banu Hasim, right? So they get this mentality, the tribe mentality. Let's grab the key. And Rasulullah SAW said, no, give the key back to the owner, right? And it was another narration that Rasulullah SAW, when he used the key to open and go inside the Kaaba, it was instructed to him to give the back to the key, right? So among everyone in Kaaba, around the Kaaba in Makkah at the time, I give this key back to the owner, which is and no one will take this key except this is zalim. So now if you go to Makkah, to Kaaba right now, the owner of the key is the descendant from even the king of Saudi. If they want to go, they have to find the descendant of, and again, this is, of course, this is probably not because, but if you think that, of course, Rasulullah, when he gave the gift, this is probably what you did to my wife or something like that. Is no, it's again as someone who has that good thing, a sincere heart and a noble heart, so Allah will reward them. Right, so that is the early Medina time. She gave birth to 3 more children, to Burrah, Umar, and Zainab. So again, another Zainab. And again, because later on this Burrah, Umar, and Zainab, and as well as Salamah, they all become what's the word? Fatherless, orphan.
Orphans.
They become orphan when Abu Salamah passed away. But anyway, Abu Salamah participated in the Battle of Badr, and he was severely wounded in the Battle of Uhud, and he actually never fully recovered, and he then passed away. And then after passed away, Salamah became a widow with 4 children. And again, she's coming from a good lineage. The likes of Abu Bakar, Umar bin Khattab, they come and ask for the marriage. Now even Rasulullah SAW asked for the marriage as well to Salamah. But Salamah did not actually answer yes. So no, it's not. She didn't answer yes. She didn't answer no. But again, it shows this is probably love, right? So if someone's like really in love, then she probably think no one can replace Abu Salamah. No one can replace my ex-husband and so on. So Rasulullah SAW actually proposed through someone to ask, will you take? Then actually she declined it, and she had 3. Right? See, 3 reasons. Number 1, I'm a very jealous person because I was married to Abu Salamah. Abu Salamah did not have any wife, right? I'm a jealous person. No way, you already have this many wives. And then secondly, I'm not young anymore, right? And thirdly, I have 4 children. All your other young wives, like Hafsas and Aisha, they don't have children, so it's gonna be problematic for you. So they sent the emissaries to talk to Rasulullah SAW, and Rasulullah SAW said, okay, go back to Salamah and tell her this. For jealousy, I will make dua to Allah that Allah remove this feeling of jealousy. For your age, which is not young, don't worry, I have the same problem. And the third one, your children will become my family. Subhanallah, it's amazing. His Nabi has this wisdom, a simple answer, but who can say no to that, right? It's just then he married our mother Salamah, and I just want to tell you this beautiful hadith. This beautiful hadith is when the calamity hits you. What is calamity? Calamity is if you lose something, if you lose your loved one, if you lose your money, your property, right? Anything that you lose is calamity. Musibah. I don't know whether you use the word musibah. We use this Arabic word musibah in Indonesia as well, in English calamity. So if in the event of calamity, there's a particular dua that Rasulullah SAW taught Abu Salamah. So Abu Salamah was alive at the time, and said, I heard Rasulullah mention that if you have calamity, if you have problem, you have musibah, first thing you say is Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun, and you right away Allah make dua to Allah, Allahumma ajirni fi musibati, ya Allah give me ajar for my musibah, waqluf li, and give it to me khairan minha, give me replacement better than this. The word waqluf, the same as khalifa. There been some things after that. So if you, as long, I think we need to memorize this dua. Anything, rather than using a swear words and put your heads and stuff like that. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. Ya Allah, Allahumma ajirni fi musibati. Ya Allah, give me ajar for my musibah. Wakhluf li khairan minha, and replace something better. And this is the dua that when Salamah, when her husband passed away, she made this dua. But she didn't actually, when she said, who actually better than Abu Salamah? Right? And she said, I don't think no one, that's why she rejected Abu Bakr and then Umar bin Khattab, who they are. I said, Abu Bakr, there's a big names. And then, and Allah actually, see, yes, actually put that. So no one could replace Abu Salamah. And actually Allah did replace Abu Salamah with someone better, who's better than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I had a quick note in here, just a quick note, when Rasulullah married to Salamah, and I like to tell these stories. You know, nowadays our young brothers and young sisters, they like to. I don't, probably not so much here, right? The K drama and so on. I don't know whether you watch this.
If they're laughing, that means they're
Like the series and stuff like that.
They watch Ertugrul, bro.
At least
See?
it's not Islamic, but the more Islamic. But again, why you laugh? Okay, like Ertugrul, for example. That if you watch Ertugrul, you should be saying it Ertugrul, not Ertugrul anymore, right? G is silence, Ertugrul, right? If the thing is about Ertugrul, like the only you probably learn about it is probably 10, and then it's dropped to 5%. It's all about ups and downs of the stories and people this fighting with that and so on. If you really want to hear the stories about people fighting and so on, let's hear from our mothers, right? Aisha radiallahu anha, when she heard that when Rasulullah married Salamah, she was actually jealous. She was infuriated. She was irritated. And then especially when she knew that Salamah was known for her beauty. So she actually sneak out and find what she looked like. And again, it shows us what? It shows us the humanity of our mothers, right? What make them our role model? Not because they're free of sins or free of needs, free of something that they will do. It is because they have this feeling, they have this need, they have these wants and so on, but they put back into what Allah wants. This is submission to Allah, right? So they are tested with calamity, they're tested with desire, they're tested with the world as well. But again, is very. There's also I put a note here, but I'm not gonna share this. Is this about if you marry more than one wives, and there's a fiqh for that you can stay for 3 days and so on. But anyway, this we will talk about it when you need it. On a needed basis. All right, this is the dua. Allahumma what is that? Allahumma ajirni. Sorry, the word ajar means reward. Allahumma ajirni fi musibati, wakhluf li, and give that to me. Wakhluf means from khalif ni li khayran minha, something that is better. So this is the dua. When you say it is mentioned in a Sahih Muslim, but also in that book, what's that book? The Fortress of not Fortress Hill, right? So please make a difference between Fortress Hill and North Point. Fortress of the Muslim, and the Sahih just passed away last year. Yeah, the honor. Yeah, so of course, but don't forget, say istirja first. Inna lillahi wa inna ilahi rajiun. Allahumma ajirni fi musibati wakhluf li khairan minha. So this, inshallah, this is something our takeaway. So this dua. So we will be tested with the calamity. So the next thing you know, if you get this calamity, says this dua. So if you lose your iPhone 10, inshallah, you make dua, you become iPhone 12.
No 11. No 11. 10 to 12.
All right, but of course you don't have you deliberately losing it. No, Allah no. All right, so please, and again, there was a story where a lady was crying in front of a grave, and then Rasulullah came and reminded her, don't cry and so on, and then she was very upset, and oh, he's my husband and so on. And then after that someone reminded her there was a Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh, and she came to Ya Rasulullah, I'm sorry, I was so sad and everything, I'm now patient. And Rasulullah said the patience is when the calamity hit. So when the calamity hit, the first thing you do is inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. Ya Allah, give me ajar for my musibah, and then replaced it with something better. Inshallah. All right. Another this what is it? Okay, this ayah. There's a couple of ayah was revealed. Um, I don't know whether you remember when we talk about our mother Aisha radiallahu anha, one of the blessing. This is coming from the beloved mouth of our mother, the mouth of the beloved mother Aisha radiallahu anha. She said she has 10 blessings. One of the blessing was, this is it's quite amazing. One of the wives, many of the wives complained to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, why? Because when people come outside of Makkah and they want to meet Rasulullah, because everyone around Medina, everyone in Medina will know where Rasulullah will stay that night, right? So people will ask where Rasulullah stayed. Oh, it's in Maimunah or in Zaynab. People will, okay, or tonight will be in Aisha, and then they will come and visit. When they come and visit, they bring gifts. So when people come to meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they chose to be at the night of when Rasulullah with Aisha, so they can give gifts. So then the other mothers was very upset. Why? Rasulullah, it's not me, it's everyone chose that. And Rasulullah says, not only that, Jibril only come down to me when I was with the house of Aisha. So even Jibril himself also come down to give revelation in the house of Aisha. But there are one or two verses, I think one verse is exactly this verse, where Jibril came down where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was at the house of Salamah. This is the only one, which is Innama yuridullah. This is verily Allah wants to use hiba ankumur rijis. Rijis means something dirty. So Allah wants you to stay away from the evil. Ya ahlal bayt. So Allah himself called them ahlal bayt. Wa yutahhirakum, and Allah wants to tahir, to make you purify. Tatahira. So Allah, this is the verse of the ahlal bayt. So Allah mentions that the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ahlul bayt, and then Allah wants to purify the mother. So again, and after hearing this hadith, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam called Fatima and Ali and Hassan and Hussein, and there was a famous hadith where Rasulullah put everyone in one same cloak, and this all my ahlul bayt. And this hadith has been heavily venerated by another strand of Islam. Right, so that is, now I want to, wow, it's already 8:37. This is the last story, and this is a long story. I want to tell these stories. I like to tell these stories. Can I tell this story? This is a very, very well, I like this story. As I think there's a couple of YouTube video telling about this story. This is one of my favorite video. I keep hearing that because it's just amazing. It gives you different perceptions of, when we've been oppressed and so on, when we're gonna gain victory, when we're gonna win, and we always have the lower hand, and we always have the backward mentality. People always think, right? So I want to tell you this story. This is quite a well-known story. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a dream, had a vision that he will do Umrah, right? So, and then at the time he collected about 1,400 companions. Let's go for Umrah. At the time they were still in the not in a good term with the Meccan people. They just finished the battle of Khandaq, finished the battle of Khandaq. So, and okay, Rasul had a dream, it must be from Allah, let's do it, let's do Umrah, right? So they go with the ihram, no weapons or anything, probably just knives, just to cut the slaughter the animal, and they bring all the sacrificial animals, the goats and the camels and whatnot. So then all the walk, right? And then just to let you know, at the time when anyone from the whole Jazeera of Makkah, they want the Jazeera of the Arabian Jazeera at the time, if they want to make Hajj or Umrah to visit the house of Kaaba, then the Meccan people will let them, even though they're being enemy, they will let them in, because this is part of the tradition. This is something that they're to be proud of, to become the host of Kaaba, right? So so the Muslim at that time were planning to take this advantage. Okay, we're not of course we're in the fighting terms with them, but now we're not fighting. We just making our ihram and then bring our arms and so on and so on. So they come and just outside of Makkah, and the Makkah people stop them, right? Stop them. You cannot enter. And there was a lot of things that happened. There's a story by the name of Suhail bin Amr. He was actually the leader. I don't know. I probably just put snippet here and there. One of the stories was, that they signed this treaty, right? The Hudaybiyah, and then with this sign of the treaty, they says three things. Number one, that the messengers of Allah will have to go back to Medina, so they cannot do Umrah now. Go back, right? And that alone, people after walking for 10 days in Ihram and they're planning to do Umrah and they got rejected, what do you feel? Number two, right? There will be truce. There will be what is a truce? Truce is ceasefire, right? We will not be fighting for 10 years, right? Number three, if anyone from Makkah, right, they go to Medina, we will pull them back, right? But if anyone from Medina go back to Mecca, right? Yeah, is it the other way around? Now you have to let them in Mecca. So it's actually this treaty, right, is almost like a one-sided. And the companions were so upset to hear this treaty. Not only that, if you know the stories about when they sign it, they put Muhammad Rasulullah, right? And then Suhail bin Amr, no, I don't believe you, Rasul. Wipe that off, right? And Rasulullah says, Ali, please wipe. Ali, right? If he rejected the order of Rasulullah, he's become kufur. But his heart, he know this is Rasul, right? So if you don't want to rub it off, let me rub it off. Right? And Rasulullah rubbed the word Rasulullah, right? So to that level. And there's another story which is quite amazing. When I first read it, that event, Suhail bin Amr, I just want to tell you, Suhail bin Amr had two sons. The both sons embraced Islam. One is Abdullah, one is Abu Janda. Abu Janda was actually imprisoned by Suhail at that time. He was in prison. He was put in a chamber or somewhere like that. And he heard, the Muslim came, all right. He managed to bring all his chains and everything. He walked with the chains. Oh, Rasulullah, please help me. And then just right after that, Suhail says, remember one of the treaty? That if anyone from Makkah want to go to you, we can pull it back. And then Suhail pointed to his own son. This Abu Janda, with his blood and everything, crying to go to Rasulullah, he pulled it back. And all the companions, they're just like that. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiallahu anhu, actually say a word that I cannot even say it now. The word is so vulgar, right? It is actually in the book of Sirah. The word is so vulgar, so I cannot say it now. It is just so vulgar. Everyone was so upset. Everyone is so upset. And then after the treaty, and not only that, right? The Baiturid one, the Baiturid one. What happened was, they heard that during the class back and forth. They want to know. They sent Uthman to go to Makkah, to go inside, and Makkah and then for 1 or 2 days, Uthman did not come back. Uthman bin Affan did not come back, and the rumor was Uthman was killed, was murdered. So they can, let's go fight in the name of Uthman and everything. So let's go fight, even though we still in Ihram, we don't have swords and everything. They're ready to fight. They've been stranded for days, and the provisions running low and everything. And now the treaty humiliated them to the lowest. So they basically lost everything. Umar bin Khattab say even a word that he regretted for the rest of his life. Aren't you a messenger or something like that? He regretted for his life. And then Rasulullah SAW, you guys know, no Umrah now. Let's go back to Medina. Everyone pack, slaughter our animal, right? And then go back to Medina. Everyone just stood there. No one actually did anything. They were just... And Rasulullah SAW did not want to repeat it twice. Because if you repeat it and the Sahaba did not even follow this, it become kufur. So Rasulullah was so upset as well, and he went back. Rasulullah has a habit, if every time he went for a campaign or battle, he would choose to one of these wives to follow him along. So at that time was Salamah. So he went to the tent of Salamah, and Rasulullah was so upset. And I says, Ya Rasulullah, what happened? My ummah destroy themselves. My ummah is destroyed. Right? I asked them to get ready, but no one actually did that. And being the wise wife as it is, as Salamah, and she said, Ya Rasulullah, why don't you just go out, don't do anything, just slaughter the animal and do the chef you had, and that's it. Just do that and everyone will follow. And that's exactly Rasulullah. Rasulullah could have said, well, who's the prophet now, right? This is the advice from his wife, right? Who's actually the prophet now here, right? So Rasulullah actually did that, exactly did what his wife asked him to do. He went out, right? Slaughter his own animal and cut his own hair. And every single companions followed exactly the same, and they were crying for that. On the way back, Umar bin Khattab he didn't know what to do. And then he talked to Rasulullah. Ya Rasulullah. Rasulullah was quiet. Oh my God. I'm done. I'm done. And then he come back again. Ya Rasulullah. Rasulullah was quiet. Oh, that's it. I'm done. That's it. And then suddenly Rasulullah looked at him. He was beaming with light. He was beaming in light, and then Rasulullah said, a verse was revealed. Inna fatahna laka fathan mubina, that you were given a biggest victory. And Umar, victory? Seriously? We've been kicked out from this. This is again, it is amazing story. What is victory? Inna fatahna laka fathan mubina. I have given you the best victory. What is the best victory? The best victory is not about winning a piece of land. The best victory is not when you gain wealth. The best victory is when you really at the down level, really, really upset, really, really want to angry, really, really want to crush everything, but yet when Rasulullah says something, you follow. So that is your Fathan Mubin. That's it. You're really the biggest victory. And who did that? And whose advice was that? Our mother, Salamah. So that is a story of Salamah that I always like to tell. This story. It's just amazing. When my Ustad tell this story, he's actually crying, and he said, this is the blessing of a pious wife. Allah give them, but Allah does not give you. Allah gives something to you through your wife. This is the beauty of having a pious wife. You make dua hundreds times a day. Allah might not be able to grant it, might not want to grant it. But the minute your wife asks, Ya Allah, give my husband this, your dua might be, Subhanallah, this is amazing. And I hope we live to see that, how a pious wife can actually change your life. Subhanallah. And this is one of the blessings of the mother of the believers. All right, that's the stories. I already told everything, but this is all but no one listens, and I think that's he acted upon it, and then Surah Al-Fatah was revealed. Who's Suhail bin Amr? Just a quick note. He's one of the best diplomat. He's actually joined Islam, embraced Islam at the same time. So Ikrimah bin Abu Jahl. All right, just the last one. This is the ayah that one of my favorite ayah. This is not. It's another story. This is one of the things that our mother asked, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, why the Quran always talk about men but never talk about women, right? And again, if you understand the Arabic grammar, the word assalamu alaikum, for example, I don't know whether the word kum here is a plural for men, but in Arabic grammar, when you say kum, will include women as well, but it's not. You want to check that?
No.
Yeah, if you.
Brother Jamal was talking about that last week.
What is that?
The Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. It's actually, if you want to just put lady, assalamu alaikunna, right? Assalamu alaika is one, which is male. Assalamu alaiki is female. But if the plural, assalamu alaikuma for two, assalamu alaikum for plural. But again, when Allah mentions about Muslimin, means men, but it also can include men and women. So after our mother says, Ya Rasulullah, why Quran never says about men? And then this reveal, Inna muslimina wal muslimati wal mu'minina wal mu'minati wal qanitin wal qanitaniti, and so on, as if Allah answered this, right? So Rasulullah was asked by Salamah, the verse was revealed, and there was a wal khasi'in wal khasi'ati wal musaddiqin wal musaddiqati, and so on and so on. And then Allah will definitely reward them. So it is actually the gender equality in terms of spirituality. So just because you're a male, you got more reward by doing salah and zikr. No, men and women have a same level of blessings in terms of spirituality, in terms of the reward. So, and again, I'm not going to talk about details about sometimes people want to have women equality and feminism and so on. When again, doctor will do what the doctor need to do, and the engineer will not do what doctor will do, and so on. This we have in a society. There's a society that there's a roles of, and of course, who actually gives the role of man and woman is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows us best, so he gives the role, but I'm not going to details about the this is the last surah. This is quite amazing. When Sayyid Qadi mentions about this, he told this story about 5 years ago, and he said that he memorized this when he was 13 or something like that, and he also memorized the hadith, but he cannot link them together. And I'm gonna tell you, when this is one of the verses I like that as well. Fastajaba lakum anila udiyu amala amili minkum min hajar min amala minkum min zakarin aw untha ba'dukum min ba'da falazina hajaru wa ukhriju min diyarihim wa uzu fi sabili wa qatalu wa qutilu la ukaffiranna anhum sayyatihim. Those who falazina hajaru, those who do hijrah, wa ukhriju, if they kicked out, min diyarihim, from their houses, wa uzu fi sabili, and they suffer from my path, wa qatalu, and they fight for Allah, they do jihad, wa qutilu, and they got killed, la ukaffiranna anhum sayyatim, Allah will wipe out all the sins. Wala udakhilannahum jannatin, and Allah will give them the jannah, tajri min tahti al-anhar, always the water underneath, tahya thawaban min indillah, that is the reward from Allah. And this is when Allah, Salamah asked Rasulullah, why muhajirin is mentioned, but muhajirat, and Allah revealed this verses that every time we wake up we recite 190 to 200. This is one of them. Then if you look at this, right, hajaru wa ukhrijo, they do hijrah. That means Salamah did hijrah, one to Abyssinia, one to Medina. Wa ukhrijo min diyarihim, and they got expelled out from Makkah. Wa uzu fi sabili, they have to split with the wife, split the husband and then the son, and they get all the calamity and everything. Wa qatulu, they have fight for Allah in the battle of Badr, the husband Abu Sam, wa qutilu, and they pass away because of the battle of Uhud. La ukaffiranna anhum sayyatim, Allah will wipe their sins. As if this verse is the CV of Salamah. So you can imagine this. I know I used to have a friend who's very famous, and one of the I think the Asian Economic Review put her name into this and all the stories. So when she apply for a job, she doesn't have to put the CV. Just read this news, read this article about me. All right. So this subhanallah, this is a CV of this a slight CV because all the fighting and everything, and Allah recorded her traits and all the suffering, and Allah la ukafirana anhum, and Allah wal udakhilannahum jannatin. And again, this is the promised blessing of Jannah. Allah will give them Jannah because all the suffering that she went through. What a great blessing that every time you recite this and you remember this Umm Salamah. Alright, so after Rasulullah SAW, she continued to have influence in Islam. He narrated the second most after Aisha. Our mother Aisha narrated about 2,000 some plus hadith. She narrated about 380 hadith. The Battle of Camel, we talk about the Battle of Camel. She's the one who reminded Aisha not to go. But again, she was a bit involved in this sort of matter. She sent her own son to support Ali radiallahu anhu. Then she passed away in the year 64 Hijrah, and then she's the longest living mother, as is the last one who passed away. So if you have any quiz or you want to put a quiz for you, and then the quiz will be who's the last mother to pass away. Let's just one slide, and then we can. She was involved in sending letter to Uthman and Muawiyah, so she get involved with politics. All right. So this is the legacy. Just quick note: she is considered to be one of the wife, amongst the wives of Rasulullah SAW. She was the wisest, and as well. And she asked Rasulullah SAW, and Allah answered that through Quran. So until now, people will memorize, will recite this Quran. She's a huge blessing for that. And then her short biography is in Surah Ali Imran 195. What a huge blessing! You can imagine when she just hearing someone recite that. This ayah is about me. All right, I think that's all. I want to share with you about our mother, Zainab Bint Kuzaymah and Salamah. And then if anyone have any quick questions or quick, easy and simple questions, please. Yes, brother, you already raised your hand, sorry.
Was the Battle of Camel the Battle of Uhud?
No, the Battle of Camel is the battle after the Battle of Uhud. Rasulullah was there. The Battle of Camel, it is one of the trial, the test for people or the companions after Rasulullah SAW. It's actually the Battle of Camel is between Muslims and Muslims, right?
Like a civil war.
Sorry?
Like a civil war.
Like a civil war. Yes, it is. It is very upset to the story, but this is part of Allah. Give them trial. They don't have a different of faith. They don't have a different in religion. They don't have different in their taqwa. They don't have different with the faith, but they have a different view of political view, and because of that, they have to end up in battle, and they regret it. Our mother Aisha regretted so much that they had to go to this. But again, this is the first fitna, the first trial, the biggest trial. And again, we Muslims, as a slave of Allah, one of the things that we always continuously tested by Allah, and we is not as great as the companions. They have a big test, and for them the test is like a battle among themselves. And we don't say bad words about them, whatever their decision, but they're still in the faith of Islam. That's called Battle of Camel, because the battle stopped when our mother Aisha went in with her camel, and the camel was actually shot death as well. And our mother Aisha was almost got arrow as well. So it was a sad story, but definitely we Muslims nowadays can learn a lot from that event. Anyone else? All right.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.